In this video, we will demonstrate how members can make, edit, and cancel court reservations from the mobile device for responsive online courts. By default, the Info tab is usually displayed to communicate with members important information about courts and other activities going around at the club. There are two ways to select a date. Simply click on the date using the top bar, or click on Select Date so that the calendar will display. Use the right arrow to go to future months and the left arrow to go back. Click on the date that you would like to make a booking for. The court type, booking length, and times to display will now appear. On the mobile device, only one court number will display at a time. Click on the right arrow to display other court numbers if available. Click the left arrow to go back to previous court numbers. Click the court type to choose the court that you wish to book in. In the event that no available times based on your current filters appears, they could be because of two things. One, the court is closed that day, or two, you selected a date that is too far out in the future. Some clubs have advanced booking restrictions, like 7 days in advance. So since we've selected July 27th, that is 17 days in advance, it would not allow you to make bookings online. So let's click on Select Date and choose a date closer to this week. I know for a fact that hard court number 1 is not opened, so let's go to the right arrow and choose indoor court number 2. Click on the booking length to display the different booking lengths that you can choose from. Depending on the court selected, the times available will vary. Please note, for any courts that are using what's called a fixed booking length, the booking length parameter will actually disappear. Let's click on the grass courts to demonstrate. It only has court type and times to display, and the grass court only allows you to book in 30-minute intervals. Let's click back to the indoor hard court. Instead of booking 1 hour, let's go ahead and book for 2 hours. And also, let's go to hard court number 2 so that we can see other bookings that are already made. Right now, we are in the afternoon times to display. And afternoon, morning, evening, or even only show available times only shows the times that you can click on and bookings that you currently made already. And we're currently logged in as Chris Lake, so that's why it says My Booking. And if you ever clicked here, it will allow you to actually go in and edit any changes you need for this reservation. However, if you change to all times, this is the only option that allows you to select any times that are available, view your bookings, and view other members' names that have booked as well. To make a new booking, simply click on the time that you wish to book. Here you have a countdown timer. Usually this is set anywhere between 2 to 4 minutes for you to complete the reservation. During this time, no one else can book for that time frame. It is locked for you. You can confirm the date and time and court that has been selected. If this is incorrect, then you can click on the left arrow to go back. Rental options will be displayed only if it is something that court type has available. If you wish to add a rental option, simply click and check the box to select it. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see the required number of players and the max number of players allowed for this reservation. Since you're logged in, you will already be in the player 1 position. Click Add Member to find a friend's name. And when you type in the name, it will search for anybody with that name in the first or last name field. Click on their name to add to the booking. You scroll back down. If your club allows guests to be added to the court reservation, click on Add Guest. If the countdown timer has run down to 0, you will see a lock expired pop-up. And what you'll have to do is click on Back to Court Sheet to start all over again. It will not remember any names or guests that have already been added to the reservation booking you started. Let's click on Back to Court Sheet. Let's quickly go back to hard court number 2 and choose a time that we want to book at 4 p.m. Scroll down and add our member. Click on their name. We can scroll down and add our guest. So type in their first name. Remember, the last name field is required as well. If you choose not to add it and just click add, it will turn red, indicating that you have to fill out this field. Email address is optional though. This is only used if the club has opted to turn on email confirmations. Your guest will receive it as well. In this case, I do not want to add the email address. I'm going to hit add. If you want to add a TBD, which is a to be determined player, you can go ahead and click on that. Basically, it allows you to hold a spot for somebody without knowing who is coming. Please note, TBD is only available if the club has opted to turn this feature on. Add buddies and groups will allow you to quickly add your friends in a pre-created list. Click on it, and you can either choose individuals or groups of people that you've already created. So let's say I wanted to add my Sunday group of people. So Robert and Anne, I just have to click on it, and they're now added to the player list. If you don't want anybody, you can go ahead and click the X to remove them. If you have any special notes to tell the club for your court reservation, you can use this box and type it in. If not, simply click on the Book Now button to complete your reservation. Once you've completed the reservation, you'll have a little check mark indicating that the booking is completed. It will tell you the court number, date, time, confirmation number, along with the names of your players that you added to the booking, resources if you had any, notes if you typed any, and you have the option of editing your booking, canceling your booking, or view in My Bookings. If you click Cancel Booking, it simply confirms if you want to cancel, say yes, or if you don't, click No to close. You can view in My Bookings. From here, you'll be able to see all your reservations for courts coming up, with the most recent one up on top. It only displays reservations that are coming up. Once the time is passed, it will no longer display. If a booking was actually made over the phone with somebody at the club, it will also appear in your My Bookings online as well. If you click on the confirmation number, it actually presents you with the edit and cancel booking options. When you edit your booking, it looks similar to when you made the original booking, where you can add and remove any members, guests, to be determined players, or even use your buddies and groups. If you click on the 3 dots in the top right, you'll now have the ability to go back to courts to make brand new reservations. You can go into My Bookings to view, edit, or cancel existing bookings that are coming up. Or you can click on Manage Buddies and Groups to create your favorite list of individuals or groups. Click on Manage Buddies and Groups. And in here, it will have 2 tabs. A Buddies tab to list all the individuals that you hang out with on any day of the week. And you have a Groups tab to list any groups that you've already created. In here, you'll see groups that are created made up of members only, guests only, or both. So we're going to click on the plus sign down at the bottom to create a brand new group. Type in the name of the group and click on Save. You just created the group. To add individuals to the court group that you just created, tap on the Courts tab here. You have a choice of adding members or guest. Click on the black button here, and now you can choose member or guest. Let's start off by adding members. Type in the name of the person you wish to find by first or last name, and then click on their name to add them. Click Cancel if you've selected the wrong person, or Continue. Now you can see that Stephen Adams is added to the Courts group. The courts are independent for each member. What I mean by that is, just because you added Stephen Adams into your buddies and groups area doesn't mean that when Stephen Adams logs in, he will also see a Courts group. He has no idea that you created one and he's in it. So if Stephen Adams is going to be hanging out with the same people every week for court reservations, he would have to go to his Manage Buddies and Groups tab and do the same thing. Let's click on the black button to add a guest. Type in the first name. Notice the text is turning red. That is because in the guest name field, you have to include the first name and the last name. If you try to save at this point, it will not let you, and it indicates at the bottom that you need both the first and last name. Type in the last name. It's no longer red, and type in an email address. Note the email address is optional. It is only going to email your guests an email confirmation provided the club has enabled that feature. I do not want Bob Jones to receive an email, so I'm just going to leave it blank and click on Save. Are you sure? Hit Continue. Now you can see Bob Jones is added to the Courts group. You have the option of removing individuals by clicking on the X beside their name if you no longer want them to be part of the group. You can click Rename in the top to rename the group. Click on Rename to save. Or you can click on the left arrow to go back. And if you're not interested in looking at your group, click the left arrow to see Buddies, or click on the groups again. That concludes the mobile view of the responsive courts.